Hello, everybody. How's your weekend been so far? Let me drop some of this music down here so we can hear me talk over it here. Hi! How's everybody doing today? It's a really nice day out today. I was hoping to do a little bit of gardening today, but I wasn't quite sure what it was that I was going to need because I can't exactly go and dig up the ground right now, and my entire garden is going to have to be potted, so that's going to put a little bit of a damper on things because I'm going to need some pots. But this year is going to be the year that I do try and do some food crops this year rather than just carnivorous plants. Don't get me wrong, I love the carnivorous plants, but you got to branch out, especially once we're in lockdown here and we don't know where everything else is coming from. Anyway, my name is Jay Edgar. This is Ed Talk. If you are new to the program here, you've never been here before, for the next hour, this is going to be a listener-focused show. I've got a couple topics that I want to talk about here while I wait for people to file in and get some more of their questions, but for the most part, this is going to be for the listener. I want you guys to get out there and you guys will decide the topic. Of course, if you saw from the title, I do want to talk a bit about some of the things that I saw on Twitter over the past week and some of the things that I've been doing during the quarantine, even though I myself have not been quarantined. In fact, I've worked harder than ever throughout these past few weeks. I haven't missed a day of work. We had a little bit of an hours rollback, but that has changed. But I've also launched and gone ahead with Contemporary. I did that right before all the lockdown stuff hit, but I launched and I went ahead with Contemporary, and I've been doing my regular show as well, which I am still looking for a guest for not this coming Monday, but the following. COL is going to help me this one, but I have no response for the person that I had scheduled for the following Monday. So we will be looking for a guest there. We are streaming live right now to YouTube, DLive, Twitch, Periscope for Twitter, and Facebook. But if you're over on Facebook, do me a favor and head on over to one of the links in the description above you. You'll see the DLive, the YouTube, or the Twitch links. Head on over to one of those so we can get your questions in and get you answered here, because I want to talk to you guys. I want to hear what you guys are saying on all the platforms. It's just the Facebook platform does not feed over into my live chat. So if you want to get into the live chat, you're going to have to head on over here. Let's open up the live chat and see what we've got going here. Looks like I've got Conservative Patriot says hello. Ron Helton's here with the stickers. Saint is here, calling us bitches as usual. We can probably get rid of the music player right now to loosen up some memory here. Ron Helton says tighten up. Conservative Patriot gave us a like. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. Ron's got the stickers out here, the Pepe stickers. The Don't Tread on Memes. Pepe, I like that one over there. I do like that one. If you guys aren't over on DLive, you got to get over on DLive. You've got the lemons there. You've got the weird cryptocurrency that they have over there, which I love to get my cryptocurrency. I don't know how to redeem it at this point yet, but I do love to get it. And I think I've got to get like 1,200 lemons in order to redeem it, or 1,400 or something like that. But I'm getting close to getting ready to redeem one coming here. So that's going to be coming up here in the near future. So head on over there. Plus, you can see all these wonderful stickers that Ron is putting up. The Restream chat shows them, but it won't stream them back out to the YouTube chat or any other chat. So you're going to have to go ahead and get over there if you want to see these stickers. It's always an entertaining time. And I've got some great stickers over there, too. I love to dump them every time I go and watch a DLive live stream, which I don't do enough anymore. I don't watch enough live streams anymore. I haven't even been doing Twitch video game streaming. I haven't been doing that very much anymore just because I've been so busy. I go to bed earlier, and all my favorite streamers stream late in the day. So they stream 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night like I do on the weekday and wonder why I don't get any viewers. I might do an early one tomorrow just for the hell. We're still in lockdown. I still can't go see the old lady, so I might just throw an early stream up. Something early so we can actually get people in and watching. We'll do some more New Vegas. I really want to finish Lonesome Road because I'm really enjoying that one. That is easily one of the best DLCs that they have out there. And I'm getting a little nervous just for the little character that I started on level 1 getting ready to go down there, because I'm remembering what the speech checks were at the end of that DLC, and I think she is screwed by the time she gets to the end of the DLC. Let's finish up what we have in the live chat here. Looks like you guys are going and ready to go and raring already. Conservative Patriot says it's going good. Ron Helton says, so what will you be feeding your plants, Seymour? I don't have a Seymour. I don't have my fly traps out yet. They're in dormancy right now, and I don't have any that big. That's the dream, of course, to get one that big, but I don't have one that big. So that'll be coming up here in the near future. Venus flytraps do stay dormant they're from a North American climate, so they'll stay dormant from about the end of October usually. I actually got mine in late, so it was middle of November before I got mine in. Usually until about the beginning part of April, somewhere towards the end of April. I think I'm going to take them out this weekend. I wasn't planning on it, but I think I'm going to because I'm ready to have them out and feeding and getting some sun in there. And I just got a new flat because some of my little totes that I was using outside last year broke. I should do a live stream from my phone and just show you guys what I got over there. It's pretty exciting. It's something that it's something I enjoy a lot. So I definitely should get some live stream up there, show you guys what I got here. We'll get the fly traps out. It'll be an interesting time. I think I'm going to send some of my sundews down to Jessica Green down in Alabama too, because or Georgia rather, not Alabama, because I know she said that she's got a whole bunch of mosquitoes out there and needs something to take care of them. And those sundews sure do lap up the mosquitoes in a hurry. What else do we have here? Ron Helton says, this is the narrative that they are pushing, that COVID-19 is now the leading cause of death. Check out this page and tell me what you see. Throw that in the Discord. Let me actually see if I can open this up without crashing the stream. I'll probably will drop some frames here, but let's see. This is from ritholtz.com, which is not NewsGuard, so I probably wouldn't do this over on Contemporary, but definitely we'll have a look over this. COVID-19 versus U.S. average cause of death, heart disease. Yeah, it looks like they're moving that up there. And I don't know what the numbers show. Absolutely, I would have to go and look at some of those. But I mean, yeah, we've got the opinion out there that there are. So I skipped a frame. I saw it. We do have the opinions out there that show that sometimes we do get some of these things where they call it a COVID death, even though it's not really a COVID death. From some point here, we've got some people out there that will say, and I said this before too, I was exaggerating when I said it, but I said before that at one point there, if a guy came home from work, got laid off from his job, he couldn't feed his family, and he went and blew his brains out, they'd call it a COVID death. So it's eerie to think about, and it's a little bit scary and sad to say, but it happens. Let's see, what else do we have here? Ron Helton says, I cannot find a running total of the daily causes of death. I really hope that we don't have to talk about COVID for this whole show, even though I know that there's going to be some quarantine talk in here, and that's going to happen. But, we're starting to get... I think the media is starting to realize that we're starting to get bored of this news story, and they're trying to shoot that shot of fear heroin in our arms so we keep talking about it. But we're all sick of it at this point, so... Let's see, Ron Helton, the daily averages for other deaths does not change. Imagine that. Well, it does a little bit, it looks like, just from reading the chart. And throw that chart in the Discord so other people can see it too. I'm not going to throw it up on the screen because it already dropped my processor to a point that I skipped frames. So we're not going to do that for now. But let's see. If you get the flu or pneumonia while battling stage 4 cancer, then die, they say you died of complications because of the cancer. Yes, they do. But they also don't deny the fact that the flu is... played a big part in that. Like, you could be going through your chemo and your immune system is down, so that flu is going to hit you harder than what it would have if you're like me and very, very strong and healthy with a good immune system. So let's see. Now, if you have the virus and battle stage 4 cancer, then die, they say you died of the virus. The narrative is all wrong. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that. Stephen Ignoramus, guys, I just stubbed my toe and died of the virus. Oh my god, they killed Stephen. You bastards! Where's my stocking cap? That would have been a great prop to... Well, this is unscripted, so we wouldn't have anything to prop up, but... Where am I losing frames from? Looks like I lost another frame here a few seconds ago. Son of a bitch. Well, let's get that down so it's not trying to play the video at the same time. It got me, Ron. Please smell feet. No, the numbers are the same. The daily average numbers for other deaths that stay the same. I could probably smell my feet a little bit here because I'm going barefoot right now. And no, they're not getting up on the desk even if I'm going barefoot right now. So before you guys ask that, they're not getting up there. But yeah, I got home. I had to go get the tires checked just a little bit because they started leaking and the air pressure light came on. Turns out that when they changed out the air in them and put nitrogen in them at the dealer, they didn't seal up the valve stems. So I got those all resealed. The place I got it done did it for free. I was kind of excited about that. And then I went out and got flats for my carnivorous plants and got Culver's for lunch. So let's see. I'm doing a stream called I'm a Nazi where I go through their 25 points point by point to see where I stack up. Very excited. We do have to get over there and check that one out because that's going to be a fun one. Absolutely. Go over there and check out Stephen Ignoramus' channel. Stephen Ignoramus is a Freedom Scoop contributor and one of the good ones. I listened to your first episode on the audio, Stephen, where Stephen just started putting all of his audio all of his daily ignoramus on the audio platforms. I can't do the 10-hour ones though, and they are sucking up the memory in there too. So of course I had to drop some of the bigger, longer ones. I can't believe you did a 10-hour stream, by the way. Good God, you need to get some. Ron Helton says, I just wanted to make that point. I did not want to talk about it either, but we need to point out the lies and the hyperbole. GAO report, federal agencies paid $175 billion in error in 2019. Thoughts? Oh, that's interesting. Throw that in the Discord. We'll talk about that on Monday because Monday's show isn't going to be enough of a mess already. Celibate till marriage, you poor bastard. I am not celibate till marriage. That ship sailed 20 years ago. Almost 22 years ago. Good God. How old am I? That ship has sailed. And the government. Now the IRS is sending stimulus checks to dead people. Yeah, I did that one on Friday on Contemporary. That was a crazy story. But it's going to happen. When you have that much government and that much red tape, it's going to happen at some point here. But there's something, while I wait for some more questions to come in, there was something that I did want to talk about here. Did you ever notice, and it didn't hit me right away until much, much later, especially this weekend. Since I just died of the virus, did I get one? Do I get one? Oh, stimulus check. Ha. So there's a massive double standard that goes with Democrat politicians and Republican politicians. And I'm sure a lot of you know that already. It's not too hard to see how the news media is going to play them out there. But there's something that I noticed when I was on Twitter yesterday. I was playing over on Twitter and, going through looking some of the trending hashtags there. And I saw one that was talking about opening up the economy, of course. That's what I wanted to do, was go see the ones that were about opening up the economy and seeing how much hateful people that there are out there that are talking about all of this. So I looked into this and I started to see, the usual, your patriots, open the economy, MAGA, Trump knows the best, he's got all the power, all that kind of crap. I saw that in there. Hi, Saint. Oh, I see Conservative Patriot and Saint are having the conversation there. I missed the Conservative Patriot ones. Did you see Tucker called Whitmer a ghoul? I did not see that. No, that's awesome. He's not wrong. And I don't think I was wrong in the insinuation that I said when I was over on Steven's show when we were talking about the State of the Union and the rebuttal, where I called her the girl from Mean Girls because, goddamn, she has lived up to that title. Me and Beebs just want a boogie oogie oogaloo. Nice. I like that. You only get a stimulus check if you're a registered Democrat and dead. Well, I think all dead people are registered Democrats at this point. You see what I did there? All right. So anyway, I'm over on Twitter and I'm talking about this, and I start to see people going in there saying, well, all Trump supporters are going to be dead soon. So, or of course, the mask is slipping as well and said, well, we should just put anybody who disagrees with us in prison. Well, swap prison. Well, it's not even swap prison for boxcars at this point, because that is exactly what we were fearing when all of this started happening, was anybody that dissents from us and disagrees with us needs to go to prison, needs to go get locked up, and all that other fun stuff that was coming in this. Whitmer is a moronic tyrant. Dude, let's boo you first. Did y'all see Tucker, New Jersey governor interview? No, I didn't. I don't have Fox News, so I don't get to see a lot of this cable news stuff, unless it's the video afterwards. And I've been at work pretty much since Thursday night. So, unfortunately, no, I haven't seen a lot of that. Steven says, yeah, I saw that. What a legend. Yeah, I'm going to go and have a look at that. Ron Helton's dropping the Boogaloo stickers out there. Anyway, so I asked one lady here when she said that all Trump supporters are going to be dead soon anyway, and I said, "Is that a threat?" And somebody came out, of course, because they get mad when you come out and point some of this stuff out to them, some of the language that they're putting out there, and how they are strangely fascistic and Nazistic. They get mad in a hurry. And I said, okay, well, is this a threat if you're going to say that Trump supporters are all going to be dead soon? And somebody else, well, first off, the lady came up, she blocked me, and then she retweeted me and said, first class troll bot out there, which I'm not really a troll bot here. Let's see. Michael, I swear I'll be right behind you. Roundtable Decision is here. Wyatt, welcome on in. Got to make a few investments first. He questions him about the closing of synagogues and churches. Yeah, I am very, very concerned about that as well, because that is quite the thing that we need to be looking at, especially with the question of religious freedom and all the freedoms that they're trying to push down. Because, yes, of course, it's synagogues and churches, but they never said anything about mosques. And furthermore, we do have the right to freely express our religion as we see fit. The government can't tell us how to, and if people need to go to church to be religiously fulfilled, that's what they need to do. I don't feel the need to. I can read the Bible and gather with people and do a small Bible study, but I don't feel the need to go to a church. I'm probably not going to be saved towards the end of it, but maybe I will. But I will still keep reading the message and studying the message and seeing what goes on to there. But yeah, I don't feel the need to be in a church, but some people do. They definitely need to be in that building to do it. Ron Helton says, no church for you. Walmart is open. Worship at the altar of consumption. Well, that's the free market way, especially if you ask anybody on the left. So anyway, I'm over there talking to this lady, and I asked her if this is a threat, and she blocked me and called me a troll bot. And some other guy came in and said, no, she's talking about the COVID, you fuckwit. That's exactly what he said to me too. And, with a disease that's got a less than 1% death rate, if all Trump supporters are going to die, they're going to need some help. Because the COVID's not going to do it. And then at Torx, I told another lady that I'm actually looking forward to getting COVID. And she's like, well, go lick some doorknobs then, because you'll get it in your bacterial-filled den. You know what? I'm looking forward to getting the COVID. You know why? Because I'm relatively young. I'm not spring chicken anymore, but I'm relatively young. I've got a good, healthy immune system, and I'm going to recover from it. It'll suck for a couple of weeks, and I probably won't be able to go to work. But I'm going to recover from it. And that is assuming, of course, that I didn't already get it. Because, this year was especially hard on my sinuses. Upper sinus infection almost every day for a really, really long time. Scratchy throat. Sometimes I had a little bit of tightness in my chest. I'm pretty sure I got it already. I've had all the symptoms for it. I haven't been tested, but I've been coughing in boomers, eyeballs. Oh, each daily walk. Yeah, have you found some good hiking trails there? Because I know you're not teaching right now because all government mandated schools must be, you're a private teacher. You can get away with it. The Osama question, did he accept Jesus before somebody domed him? Maybe. Muslims believe in Jesus. They do. They don't believe that he was the Messiah, but they believe that he existed and his teachings were true. The boomer consumer, I like that. Oh, I'm teaching, baby. Yeah. I hear you're going to teach me how to do software so I can do some recording for you. I know we talked a little bit about that off mic, because I've never done digital recording other than this. So all that I have to record on is OBS, and Steven says I need to get myself some software. So conservative patriot. Well, these leftists are nuts, but they say we are the nuts. I think they are the violent. Those who say we deserve death should be in jail. That is a threat. I think that she thinks that we deserve death, but she's got enough plausible deniability that I don't think she was coming out and saying directly that she wanted us to die. She said that those of us who went out in the workforce were just going to be dead because of the COVID. But not only that happened, but of course she is wishing death on other people on top of that here. So I had a revelation. Michael Vega, my world history teacher had a great separation of church and state description of Jesus. Oh, I'd love to see that one. Yeah, that's the only part of the First Amendment that any leftist knows anything about is the separation of church and state, and they will absolutely tell you about that as long and as hard as they can. So, Jesus was a cool. Now, it was engraved liver cancer 2002. I missed something there. Jesus was a cool guy who existed and he did some really cool things. The end. Bullet. Oh, the bullet was engraved liver cancer 2002. Okay. I see what you're saying. Which isn't even in the First Amendment. You're right, but that's the first thing. That's, like I said, that's the only thing about the First Amendment that they know and can tell you. And it's not even in there. You're absolutely right. So anyway, I had a revelation about one of the last debates that was between Trump and Hillary when I was thinking about this. These people that were saying that all Trumpers and conservatives should either be in prison or dead. At which point, and it was an interesting thought to myself. Now you'll remember at the end of the last debate, they were asking Trump if he would tell people like David Duke and the alt-right not to vote for him, if he would disavow them and tell them not to vote for him, and he wouldn't say no. And he was playing the numbers game. You're absolutely right. He was playing the numbers game. Because it doesn't matter what the ideology of the person that votes for you is. The vote is a vote at the end of the day. That is something you've got to keep in mind. That number is going to stay up no matter what. So, of course, the question was then asked to Hillary. Oh, will you disavow and tell these people not to vote for you? And Hillary says, no, I don't need these people's votes and I don't want their votes. So, no, I don't want them to vote for me. Which none of their votes were going to Hillary Clinton anyway. One of the things you've got to think about with the alt-right at this point is, yes, the Ku Klux Klan was developed by Democrats. It was the shock troops of the Democrats for a long time. But they kept their ideology no matter what. And, I mean, they have a lot in common with the Democrat Party, too, especially the racism about it. They both think that certain groups of people are less than human and can't get up on their own. It's just one group of them wants that certain group of people dead, and the other group wants to trot them out for votes once every 4 years and then stick them back where nobody can see them. So Hillary comes out and says, well, I don't want these votes. Well, these votes weren't going to Hillary because the Democrat Party put up a black man for president, and those people suddenly don't want anything to do with the Democrats anymore. So those votes weren't going to Hillary anyway. She had nothing to lose by coming out and saying that. But my thought with this was, let's see. Oh, we got conversation going here. We should petition the government to include a right to crack in the First Amendment. Whoa. Disavow. I don't think that would be in the First Amendment. I think that would be closer to the 10th Amendment because that would have to do with the drug scheduling. But I see where you're going with that. Founders' views on freedom of religion. Which type of Christianity do you choose? Maybe. I mean, that was pretty much all that they knew, though, coming out of a European background. I know Jefferson had read the Quran at one point, though. The 10 Crack Amendments. The 10 Crack Commandments. The 10 Crack Amendments. Haha. Lots of dudes can't get up on their own. The Crack Amendments. The Crack Amendments. There we go. Wow. I can read. Anyway, going back to Hillary and Trump here. So, if I had the chance to moderate a debate between Biden and Trump, because that's who it's going to be, unfortunately. First off, if we actually had the debate, this question should be up there. But if I had the chance to moderate that debate, that would be something that I would say. That'd be a question I would ask. I would go up to I would frame the question and I would say, hey, you know what? 4 years ago, the moderators asked Donald and Hillary if they would disavow a certain group of people, the white nationalists, the alt-right, and David Duke and his sorts of people. And Trump said no, he wouldn't, and he got raked over the coals for that. And Hillary said she would, and she had nothing to lose for that. So would you disavow anybody on the alt-left who says that Republicans and Trump supporters need to die or be put in prison? And I think some of these people are getting very, very close to boxcars at this point, too. Words are and always and will always be hard. Yeah, sometimes they are. Absolutely, sometimes they are. And being over on a few hours of sleep probably doesn't help either. But I'm doing a lot better than I did a few weeks ago at this point. Man, that was tough a couple weeks ago. A couple Ed Talks ago, I was ashamed of myself after I went back and listened to that. You'll notice episode number 15 was not put on the audio platform because it didn't need to exist, because I was really, really bad at that point. Well, hopefully this will be an eye-opener for those opposed to tyrants, and we will see the injustice of drug war as well. Well, here's something you have to think about, too, when we look at these people that are being tyrants right now. I believe Newsom is a relatively recent governor. I actually should have looked into that before I went live, but I took a nap instead. But Pritzker, Evers, and Whitmer all became governors like 5 seconds ago. They're all in their first term, and they were all inaugurated in 2019. So yeah, they've been in the executive branch of their particular states for like 5 seconds. And before that, they had various other government positions, except for Evers, because he was a union shill. But yeah, they've been governors for 5 seconds, and yes, they're coming in and they're pulling out all the stops. Governor Evers just locked us down until the 26th. And he's about to get a protest on his hands too. The protests, I want to see if I can get Friday off or get enough hours banked up so I can take Friday off, which is going to be hard because they did just open us back up to 40 hours a week. But I'm going to see if I can get enough hours banked up so I can take some time off on Friday and go up and do some man on the street stuff for these protests, because, I mean, Madison's not that far away. I know, I used to work up there. Finding parking is going to be hell, but if I can get myself up to downtown, just go up and talk to some of these people, have a conversation with them, see what they have to say, get the phone out, do some streaming for it, and actually have the conversation. I'd love to get up there and cover that. Freedom Scoop needs some man on the street stuff. We absolutely do, because, I mean, nobody else is going to cover this. The mainstream news networks are not going to cover any of this. They're going to write an editorial about it and say how bad these people are and how they're going to get everybody sick and die and cause the resurgence of the pandemic, but nobody's actually going to go out there and talk to them. So, let's see. Oh, I'm getting behind on some of this stuff again. Well, hopefully this will be an eye-opener for those opposed to tyrants, and, there's a correction there, and they will see the injustice of the drug war. Steven says, literally everyone important says amazing shit and utter bullshit, including everyone we hate and everyone we love. I like that. That is deep. That's very, very deep stuff, Stephen Ignoramus. I don't think anyone should be disavowed. You have no real control over who votes for who. Yeah. No. But that was a gotcha question for Trump, because they either wanted to get the white nationalists to stay home and not vote for Trump, or get him to paint himself as a white nationalist. There was a no-win question for Trump, and like I said, Hillary had nothing to lose from it. Because after Barack sat in that office for 8 years, those votes weren't going for Hillary. Exactly, Saint. Nobody has the right to dictate the lives others lead. Exactly. And I'm probably disqualifying myself from any public office here as well. But if I got the same question on any debate stage or any interview, I would say no. I don't approve of any of what they do, but I'm not going to turn away their vote. Come on out. You're free to say whatever you want to say. You are absolutely free to, as long as you don't harm another human being physically, you're free to say whatever you want to say. This is probably going to disqualify that. That's going to get cut for a campaign ad. That's going to disqualify me from any public office. But it's the truth. You're free to say what... It's like when I get the white supremacists that come into my live chat here or go into my Discord. Yeah, say what you want. If you start going after my mods, I'm going to mute you for a little while. You'll get a little timeout. But it says right in the rules for my Discord server, only I can kick somebody out. Nobody else can kick anybody else. They can only mute you. And once again, that's pretty much for crowd control, not necessarily to stop anybody's freedom of speech. Slow the conversation down a little bit so other people can get a word in edgewise and get some rebuttals in. Ron, what if I buy... No, that's not what he's talking about. I know what he's talking about there. Buy what, drugs? Saint says, I would take Doug Duche over that stupid bitch. Which stupid bitch are you talking about, Saint? Or the lives of others. Yeah, that's what he was talking about. The people whose lives I want to dictate. Yeah, I think we outlawed that in this country probably 150 years ago. If they willingly sell to you, yeah, indentured servitude. That I could see, but yeah, the chattel trade is a little bit different. But yeah, if Steven comes out and says, "I'll give you $1 million to be my bitch for a month," I would say, "Okay," or "Go screw yourself." But it would be my choice to give up the month of my time to do it. Sure, if they will. Will you disavow the David Duke basketball team? I don't know enough about college basketball, so I couldn't tell you about that. I'm not a big basketball person, unfortunately. I play it every once in a while, but I've never been able to get into the NBA or college ball. I like playing around with March Madness and guessing the bracket, but for the most part, yeah, college ball and basketball is just it's never been my thing. I like baseball and football. Whitmer. Okay. I guess I'm not familiar with who Doug Ducey was. No, we can't outlaw somebody who wants to sell themselves to another. That is freedom of choice. That's also called prostitution. And it's legal in some states and municipalities. Take a middle of the road position. Now, thoughts on Ayn Rand Paul Ryan Seacrest? Wow, that is quite the name. The current Arizona governor. Okay, yeah, I was. I bleed blue for Big Blue. Kentucky basketball. Yeah, basketball's never been my thing, unfortunately. And college football, not so much either, because I mean, I never get a chance to sit down and watch it on a Saturday. But yeah, it's just because I didn't go to a traditional college. I went to a trade school. College football never really did it for me either. It's something I'd be willing to try, and I know that when I worked at the campground because it was so close to Madison, we got a lot into Madison sports. So, I mean, there was Wisconsin Badger stuff everywhere, but other than that, yeah, college ball has just never done it for me either. We should talk, Ron. I'm cheap. Boulder Vaughn, welcome in, by the way. Thanks for coming by and checking us out. If you got any questions, get them up into the live chat. Anyway, yeah, I do want to see, and I'm not saying necessarily that any of these candidates should disavow the violent people that are supporting them. I just want to see the tables go the other direction for a change. I want to see what happens if these people are asked directly if they would disavow somebody whose ideology is not necessarily mainstream on their side and is to an extent somewhat dangerous. Of course, these people do have the freedom of speech and freedom to do whatever they want. That's why I kind of laugh it off. And, like I said, I'll ask some of these people if it's a threat that they're doing because that would be against the Twitter terms of service, but definitely not against the Constitution. I stopped because the NCAA always favor SEC teams over the Pac-12. Yeah, that was something that my cousin got really, really hot under the collar about too because, when I worked at the campground, I lived in the manager's house with my cousin and his wife. And yeah, on a Saturday, we'd go upstairs and we'd just sit and we'd watch the Badger game all day or a lot of the other college football games. And yeah, he was always pissed off about the fact that the refs went off on the side of the SEC. And I'm not really big into college football. I actually had to ask what the SEC was because I didn't know. But yeah, you're not the only person who has that frustration. It's not just with Pac-12, it's with everything. Full disavow on the subject of roads. We don't need any roads. Yeah, I hate roads. Honestly, life is worse with roads. It makes libertarianism harder to explain. I like that. I spend more time dodging potholes than driving on the road. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Suppose I should have put my glasses above my head before I did that gag. I think that's going to be the next game I play over on Ed's World Gaming. Even though we still have a long ways to go in New Vegas. We have a long way to go. But I have Back to the Future, the video game. All 5 variants of it. They released it as 5 different video games, and I have all 5 of them here. It's a point-and-click adventure. It's basically to choose your own adventure. It's a little slow. but it's a lot of fun, and it's a little nostalgic, especially if you love Back to the Future as much as I do. There's no big action or anything like that, so it's not like we're going to be shooting a bunch of stuff up like we do in New Vegas, but it'll be kind of a nice break, and it'll be a little short run too. After spending months and months and months and months and months and months and months playing Fallout New Vegas, because my God, that's a long game. Yeah, we still have the whole vanilla game to go through too. Keep in mind, and I'm going to hit every map marker on this run too. So every quest I can, every map marker. So we got a lot to do yet in that, but we're going to go and we're going to play it out to the end. And we're going to decide at the end who we blow up at the end of Lonesome Road, so prepare for that one. Go back to dirt tracks and 4x4. I've got a 4x4. Dude, without roads, Ron Paul would have one horse. Trust me, that Ron Paul video was legit. I guess I don't know which one you're referring to. I'm a little late to the Libertarianism Party, and for the most part, everything that I've done with it has been online research with the Wikipedia articles and listening to people. I've not seen the Ron Paul video. I would watch it, definitely would. I do want to go back to Steven's, I think, kind of trolling question up here. Ayn Rand, Paul Ryan, Seacrest. I'll break them down to everybody else. Ayn Rand, I have no opinion on because I've not read. Rand Paul, I hope he gets better. I know he's sitting out with the COVID right now, and he's especially in danger because he just had a lung punctured by his next door neighbor. Paul Ryan was a good representative until they made him the House Speaker, and then he kind of turned into a shill and a cuck, and now he's a lobbyist. Ryan Seacrest, he's a gay dude. That's pretty much all I know about him. Because I'm not really big on reality shows or American. I don't like American Idol. I never liked the concept. I do like some of the artists that came out of it, but they're like half respect as I would give to them if they just came up generically. And I said it at the beginning of Contemporary. When I first started doing Contemporary, I said the same thing. It was like Dave Grohl said. You know, when they started Nirvana, they just sucked. And they got in the garage and they played together and they sucked and they sucked and they sucked until they got better. These people that are going on American Idol don't have a chance to suck. They've got a little bit of talent, and then they get put into the media machine, and then they get raised up into instant star, but they never get the experience of sucking. So, no, I don't like stuff like that. Let's see. Ron Paul can thrash anyone in a debate. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Again, I came to the libertarian thing late, so I'm not that familiar with Ron Paul. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Impeach them in your mind, Paul Ryan. Yeah. Well, Paul Ryan was in a no-win situation as well when he became Speaker of the House because, Barack Obama was untouchable because he was black. I hate to say it, but that was part of the reason that they ran him, was because anybody who would try to impeach him for doing the agenda that they tried to push behind him, anybody that would try to impeach him for legitimate crimes against humanity and war crimes and crimes against the American people and failing to uphold his oath of office, anybody who would try to impeach him would face the public backlash of trying to impeach the first black president. And yes, Republicans would have lost the House and probably the Senate at that point too, if they would have tried to do the impeachment. And he would have been impeached. He probably wouldn't have been removed. That was the other thing, is because the Senate was still divided to a point that it was so close that I don't think he would have gotten removed, especially with the stigma of trying to impeach and remove the first black president. So Paul Ryan, yes, Barack Obama had a lot of impeachable offenses, but in full reality, Paul Ryan did the right thing by not impeaching him. But then he turned around and became a lobbyist, so fuck that guy. Seacrest isn't gay. Seacrest's fey, but he's def gay. Dude, he's more feminine than some girls that I've dated. Rand is already recovered and has been volunteering in a hospital COVID ward. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, of course, the mainstreams would never tell us that because Republican evil. Faye is fake gay. Okay, I guess I'd never heard of that before, but that makes sense. J. Edgar also sucks and sucks and sucks until he gets better. Yeah, you know it, Big Daddy. I follow Rand's YouTube channel. I don't. I didn't know he had one, but I will have to look there. Obama touched many men's lives. Lives equals to disavow, but also laugh my ass off. Check out Ron Paul Liberty Report on YouTube. I will. Mitt Romney? He's Mitt Romney. He's as politically homeless as I am. He's not a Republican. He's not a Democrat. He's a neocon is what he is. He's a Democrat, a classic Democrat, hiding as a Republican or with an R next to his name to try and get some of the geriatric vote from Fox News is what he is. He's an opportunist. That's all that he is. And that's part of the reason that he was able to get elected as governor in Massachusetts as a Republican, because he's not really a Republican. He's from that era, that brief little window where all Republicans and Democrats were really the same anyway. And for all of his faults, Barack Obama really shook us out of that. He really did. Because he came in and he primaried on a very, very socialist left-wing agenda. And then, of course, he went straight neoliberal as soon as he got into the office. But he made it okay, and he inspired some of these people to get out there and be the progressive socialists out there that we're seeing today. Otherwise, they were the fringe of the party, and they had no place. Those people were politically homeless too, because the Democrats didn't want them, and they didn't conform with the Republican ideology. So, let's see. What else do we have here? Obama's deaf gay changed my mind. Hey, what he does in his own bedroom is his own business. Fake virtue signaling conservative. Yeah, that's about right. Kurt Tapp, hey, Joe told me I can buy some drugs here. I don't know who that is. But apparently, if you talk to a lot of the people here, you can find some drugs. Kurt Tapp, we have all the drugs. We have absolutely all the drugs here. Steven knows about touching men's lives. I like that. But you have to perform a little bit. Dance for us, or show feet, then get drugs. I haven't shown feet, but the bare chest has been on a live stream before. It wasn't on a Google product, but it has definitely been on a live stream before. Welcome in, Kurt Tapp. I don't think I've seen your name in here before, but welcome on in, absolutely. Thanks for coming and checking us out. Chicken Joe. Cotton Eye Joe. Steven, can you play Cotton Eye Joe? I used to be able to. I'm out of practice. I got the guitar behind me, and I've been playing with it a little bit, but I'm definitely out of practice. I knew that because I pulled it out when we did the 12-hour stream at the end. I was playing it a little bit while everyone else was having the conversation. And first thing it was, as I said, that this is definitely like any other Freedom Scoop get-together, because one person was smoking weed on camera. Two people were having a legitimate conversation. One person was spouting off randomly with a lot of gusto, and one person was not really paying attention to anything else and playing music. The faces changed, but the roles were all the same. Let's see. Nephilim, I influence things from the bottom up. It's an Asteroids campaign. I love that. John showed toes last night, not feet. Yeah, he was pretty wasted from what I hear last night, too. You stream on Twitch and YouTube? I am on Kurt Taps. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, DLive. I'm on Periscope, so you can see me on Twitter, and I'm on my personal Facebook page. I'm not on my fan page, but I'm on my personal Facebook page, which you would only know that if you knew my real name, but let's see. What else? He's working up to it. Yeah. Jen Gap and I got hammered till the sun came up last night. Yeah? You were probably still drinking when I got up and went to work then. Because the sun comes up an hour earlier on John's coast than it does over here. Well, actually, Boulder, you're an hour behind me yet, too, so. If you want a good podcast, check out Time Suck with Dan Cummins. J. Edgar's real name is John McAfee. Yes, I am broadcasting this from a ship because everybody wants me. Dan Cummins, is that what's the subject of the podcast, Saint? If you don't mind me asking, I'll look into it. I definitely will. I know that my podcatcher is usually full at this point. You're 2 hours behind in Mountain. Well, I'm in Central, so you're only one behind me. Oh, we gotta start wrapping this up here, and I haven't even talked about quarantine projects here. What are you guys doing that are on quarantine? And I've been doing quarantine projects even though I'm not on quarantine, even though my job is essential. I've still been doing some of them. But yeah, what have you guys been doing with your quarantine if you have a chance to do any things? How many people? Oh, excuse me, I've got the hiccups now. How many people do you think want John or McAfee dead? I don't know. I don't know why he's out on a ship, to be completely honest. I know that he made the antivirus stuff, and that's the last thing I knew about him until Jake started talking about him as a possible libertarian presidential run, and informed me that he was out on a ship. And I haven't looked into it, but yeah, I don't know what he did. Kokesh and McAfee are working as a team now for the libertarian nomination. Yeah, I'm wondering what's going to go on in that race too, because I mean, I just talked to Soraya Foss. I've had Keenan Wallace Dunham on this show before, and I've been hearing Fritzcast and Brian Nichols have been sitting there talking with all the other candidates, and I've been hearing them. I don't think they have it for this one, to be completely honest. I think people are just Britt from Freckles and Britt said on Twitter when she was talking about Amash possibly doing a 2020 run that, I mean, with the pandemic in place, people are going to go with the devil that they know. This is not going to be a libertarian 2020, unfortunately. But I do think that they're going to have some footing for 2024, especially if Amash keeps his nose clean and can keep getting elected. And we're going to find out really, really quick in a few months here whether the voters in Michigan are going to vote for Amash or if they're going to vote for GOP. Whether they like Amash or they like his part or like the party that he was in. And I'm interested to see how that one turns out. I'm really interested to see how that one turns out. Let's see, what else do we have here? Steven says, I'm releasing an album, working out a lot, and trying to buy land. It's random shots since the name, times suck, serial killers, cults, etc. Okay, I'll look into that. Planning mostly. Yeah, I was over at Menards today looking at getting some soil and some seeds, but again, I don't know how big of pots I'm going to need to plant the vegetables I want to grow this year. I don't know how much root space. I'm going to look into do some reading on that. I'm going to ask my parents because they do some growing. But because I rent this place, I can't dig up and till up a garden. So I'm going to do a potted plant little garden outside the back. Not just my carnivorous plants. I'm going to get some. Well, I'm not big on tomatoes, but I'm going to try a tomato plant because I hear that's an easy one to do. But I'm definitely going to do some onions and some garlic. I think I can do those in pretty small pots. Even with some of the stuff that I have here for the carnivorous plants, I can probably do those in. Definitely some green onion, because I love green onion, and I go through way too much of it way too fast. Possibly some leafy lettuce, and definitely some peppers. Oh, I would love to have some homemade peppers, and stuff that I can regrow too. So get some heirloom stuff to where I can actually grow it from the seeds again. Let's see. Someone commented in the BitChute video of my interview with Kokesh, some of us have long memories and know a scammer when we see it. Thoughts? Jay, what's the name of that store that you went to? Let's see. So, I presume that when Steven asks about Kokesh, he's talking about John McAfee. And I don't have any thoughts on that. I would need to understand more of what went on in order to have thoughts for that. What's the name of the store that you went to? It's Menards. Menards is essentially a Wisconsin-based Lowe's or a Home Depot. I don't think they go too far out in the country. I think they're only in Wisconsin. But no, I know that there are some in Illinois too. I know for a fact that there are some in Illinois, but I don't think they go much further than that. But yeah, it's the same idea. It's just a big home improvement store, but it's local for us. So I've actually met the guy that started it, and my cousin used to hang out with his kid. So, I mean, yeah, they're local. I like Hornberg at least, but he's an adult. Potatoes are easy in buckets. Yeah, I'll get some. I can probably snag some buckets from work too. I know that I'll probably get some bigger pots to do the peppers because I think I need a bigger pot to do the peppers. I know like the garlic and the onions I can probably do in the little starter pots that I do for my carnivorous plants. So It would be nice to know what scam. Yeah, I wish I knew what was going on with that. Yes, Hornberger is competent. I just like the idea of disbanding the corrupt federal government. I like that, Hilton. Nephilim Ninja says, I don't dislike Kokesh. I like Kokesh too. Yeah, I don't dislike Kokesh. I can't get down with open borders. Sorry, Hornberger. That has been the hardest bridge I've had to cross with the Big L Libertarian Party is the fact that putting borders up is a violation of the non-aggression principle because that's definitely not the case. And if we import the entire third world or tell them that we're open for business for them, we're going to drive wages so low that you're not going to be able to buy a gallon of milk anymore. I'm sorry, but that's going to be the case. You bring in a lot of people that are willing, especially with their other ideas of abolishing all minimum wage. Yeah, no. With no minimum wage, if you import the entire third world, we're all going to be fucked for wage wise. It's a good idea. It's a good in principle to try and get the best workers out of here. But if you get them all in, they're going to undercut everybody. And you're going to be working for pennies on the dollar. Where are you trying to buy land, Stephen? Yeah. Yeah, get Stephen to dox himself. Absolutely, Ron Helton. I know, I haul freight for him. I just think it's funny how you say Menards. Yeah, you should have heard me when I moved back from Boston, how I used to say it. I'd go over to my cousin. Yeah, Jason, let's go over to Menards. Let's go get some stuff over there. Let's see. Wyatt's in here. It just says, Hi, Wyatt. Let's see. North Carolina, Tennessee, both good choices. South Carolina, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, or Georgia. Come back up to the Midwest, Stephen. We'll find a place for you. Oh, you want to stay out east? Come back up by us. You know you love the snow in the Midwest. The big L's are insane, and I'm a card-carrying libertarian. Yeah. No, I like a lot of their ideas and a lot of their freedoms, but it's just with where we are in this country, for the most part, the big L agenda would depress us even further than the Democrats' agenda would. East is fatal to liberty and life. Look at New York City. It's not just the East, dude. Look how close I live to Chicago. Chicago is arguably worse for life and liberty than New York City is. And when you put the life aspect onto it, you go a little ways west of Chicago, and then you've got Rockford, which is definitely bad for life and liberty because it's in Illinois, but definitely bad for life. Rockford has more murders per capita than Chicago. I mean, it's a smaller city, don't get me wrong, but it's got more murders per capita than Chicago does. No liberty and dropping dead like flies. Well, they're not dropping dead in Madison, but there's no liberty up there either. Southeast. I've lost count of the number of times I've almost docked myself. Yeah. Actually, I probably shouldn't say, but yeah, I know a detail about Steven just because I gave him a quick phone call before we did the 12-hour stream. I gave him a phone call and found out a piece of information about him inadvertently because he didn't answer the phone. Ron Elton says, no, I'm not trying to dox him, trying to convince him to come out to the flyover states. Yeah, dude, it's cold up here. I love the cold. We have good ways to keep warm up here, too. And good ladies to do it with. I'd say Tennessee is your cheapest option. Yeah, I could see that. If you're outside of Nashville, yeah, there's definitely good land for not a lot. And I'm not sure how the farming is down there because I know that it's real rocky soil, but I'm sure that we've got enough technology that we can get around that at this point. Like Western North Carolina a lot. Eastern North Carolina is where Venus flytraps are native to. And I'd love to go down there and see some of the bogs where they came from. I'm a mountain man, at least I will be when I move to the mountains. Well, you're going to need a little bit more beard than that if you're going to be a mountain man. You can be a mountain man in eastern Oklahoma. Boulder Vaughn says we have a foot of snow on the ground and full sunshine here today. Yeah, it's been blizzarding for the last week. Half the week last week was all blizzards, and every blizzard that came in, the sun was shining for last week. There is, just like where Boulder Vaughn is, there is a foot of snow on the ground at my mom and dad's, which is about 4 hours away from here. Considerably further north, too, but about 4 hours away from here. Let's see. Stephen Ignoramus says, dong size. Well, that's for me to know and you to find out in a dark room lit by candlelight. As I whisper in your ear that it's going to be okay. Boulder Vaughn says Kentucky is greater than Tennessee. I've got family in Tennessee, so I'm a little bit biased to that. Wyatt says come to Texas. Mart Ladid has a sticker over there that I've never seen before, but I kind of like. Foist NX, can you do something really autistic for my entertainment? Keep in mind that this is transmitting to a Google product, so maybe, but probably not. Saint says, I've lived in both at the same time for a period, Boulder. Nephilim Ninja says, did you find out how much he touched men's lives? All the time. Saint says, Boulder. Mart Ladid has a sticker that says, kills this man. I don't know who that man is, but I disavow. Stephen Ignoramus says, Venus flytraps, you mean attractive white women who have almost hit the wall? I don't know that reference. Let's see. McConnell Smuggles Coke says, this lockdown has one huge benefit. The chemtrails have been dialed back. I like that. Let's see. Stephen A. Ramus says, I haven't seen many chemtrails lately. Well, they're still doing a bunch of the flying, but the planes are almost empty. Mart Ladid says, 5 years ago I saw a man turn himself into a fucking pickle in the blink of an eye and the world just fucking watched. You don't have to censor yourself, Martla. But thank you for that. McConnell Smuggles Coke says, it feels strange seeing Steven comment like a normal stream viewer. It is strange, but it's entertaining. Voiced NX says, spin around till you fall over. No, I'm not going to do that. Lindbacker's SLBC says, you look like a guy who was in the military, but worked in supply or motor T, but you just could have been special operations, just never had the chance. No, I didn't do the military, and it's one of the regrets that I have out of my life is that I did not do the military. And now I'm over 30, so it's really not worth it at this point. But I know when I was younger, I wanted to go into the Marine Corps, and all of the teachers at school who saw that my 30 ACT and my high grade GPA said, no, you're going to college. Well, college is an indoctrination center. I don't want to go. Well, you're going to college. Okay. Now you hit the wall. Oh, can't have kids anymore. Maybe. Now you collect gun mags, pick up girls at the bar by talking about your deployments. Well, I never deployed, so I wouldn't be able to talk about deployments. Women TikTok. The clock is ticking. All women can have kids. Well, some of them dried up at some point, so no, they can't. Woodchuck says no flake clouds here at the moment. Ignoramus says just temporarily stooping to peon level. All right. 33 ACT confirmed. Greater than 33 ACT confirmed. No, I didn't have the highest ACT in my class. I got the 30. The valedictorian got a 35. Lucky little bitch. But yes, when they saw that, they said, no, you're not going to the military. And I said, but I want to go to the military. No, you're not going to the military. Fine. And now I get to laugh at all of them because I wound up leaving college and going to trade school instead, because you're always going to have a job if you can fix cars. But if you do philosophy, you're always going to work at Burger King. Let's see. The Marines would have knocked your intelligence down a bit. Right, but I wanted to serve. That was the thing. And you have to keep in mind that when I was getting to the age where I could join the military, because I'm 35, I graduated in '02. My senior year of high school, during my homecoming week, was when I saw the towers fall. And of course, that was when everybody got patriotic and military. So I do regret not serving the country because I do love my country. I absolutely do. Let's see. Boulder and Steven. Boulder just finished watching the end of your train wreck from last night. Yeah, I haven't got a chance to look at any of that yet. Steven says, gotta watch that stream. Proud of John for going the distance. Disavow. I had to pull out the receipts. It goes without saying, I disavow everyone that's even tangentially affiliated with anybody in this chat. Well, you gotta do that sometime. Yeah, we got Testy. Ron Helton. I went to basic training when I was 26. Woodchuck says I pulled an Irish goodbye around hour 6. We had a 34-year-old Marine who was in basic training with us. Oh, well, I guess I thought that they didn't want you after age 30. Well, human shield, I guess, but yeah. Because I had thought about that again later in life, but it's just, you know what? I got too old and probably wouldn't have been a good thing for anybody anymore. I and another guy had to carry him on our runs. He was really short. Haha. Alright. I disavow so far hard that I disavowed Kevin Bacon. 42, huh? It's something to consider. Yeah, because like I said, I thought it was after age 30 that they didn't want you anymore. But on that, Reince Priebus just enlisted. No way. That's interesting. With that, I think we're going to wrap this up, though. I think we're going to call it. I'm going to go ahead and get started, getting ready to make some dinner. I think we're going to make some pretzel bread tonight, too, so that's going to be kind of fun. I've been doing a lot of baking with my time off since I haven't been able to do anything else. And they just restocked the yeast in the store, so I can do some baking, do some more baking. And with that, we're just going to call it. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting, I think, in the Navy. Well, technically, the Marines are a part of the Navy. Technically. Even though the only time they admit it is during the Army-Navy game for football. But technically, they are still a part of the Navy. All right. So, we'll peddle the wares here, as the Already Conservative says, and we'll head on out of here. Thanks once again for catching up with us here, and we'll upload this video. You can catch it on YouTube if you're just catching up now, or over on bitshoot.com as well. Go and check us out over there. Or we are putting this up on the audio platforms as well. So go ahead and check us out over on the audio platforms. That's going to be on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. And if you're on iTunes, leave us that 5-star rating and a good review. That always helps us move up the charts. Helps. Rinsed penis. I like that. That's awesome. Boulder Vaughn is going to try and make babies tonight. Well, Godspeed, my friend. We're below replacement rate in this country, so Godspeed. Yeah, you can go check us out over on the audio platforms, over on BitChute, or, like I said, go over and check us out on Freedom Scoop. We just closed down the donation link for the first responders. So thanks to everybody who donated to that as well. We did a good thing a week ago, and I'm very, very happy that I got the chance to be a part of that. So that's awesome. That guy's 48 years old. Some of my homies on the coast have a Semite problem. Nice. I'm not going to read that out loud, but nice. I like that. I like that. Getting sneaky in there, Martla. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming in and checking us out. Thank you to Martla Did, Ron Helton, Nephilim Ninja, Boulder Vaughn, Steven Ignoramus. Let's see, who else was here? Saint, thanks for coming in and checking us out. Woodchuck. Let's see, who else? I got a lot going here. Voice NX, thanks for coming in here. McConnell Smuggles Coke. Martla Did with the stickers out there. The new stickers I've never seen before. Maybe Ron picked some of those up for later. I'm not sure as we go along here. Let's see, who else? We're scrolling up, so check that out. Kurtap, thanks for coming in and hanging out as well. Like I said, I'm not familiar with you, but thanks for coming and checking us out. I think that's going to be it. No, I think Wyatt from Roundtable was in here as well earlier. In fact, I know he was. Other than that, Michael Vega was in here as well. Thanks for coming in, Michael Vega. And it looks like that was it. So thanks everybody for coming and checking us out. had one other announcement here, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, yeah, make sure you go over and check us out over on freedomscoop.com, where we have Stephen Ignoramus, we have the Generational Gap, and all of their streams are hosted. Wyatt does his streams over there now. He's hosted over there as well. All of my shows are hosted over there. The R-Rated Conservative is hosted over there. And please head over there and help us welcome our newest show, which will be premiering on Monday, Freckles and Brit, with their 4th episode. So go and check that out over there. As we always say on my channel, never take the words of bloggers, podcasters, or journalists as gospel. Find all the facts and draw your own conclusions. Everybody have a great rest of the weekend. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow again. I haven't decided if I'm going to game tomorrow, but we will definitely be back on Monday for more contemporary. And Ed's World with Seawall. So come and check that out.